Australia, one of the hottest and driest countries on Earth, with about 65% of its land mass desert and another 20% tropical, has emerged as one of the most efficient livestock producers in the world. Australian farmers battle daily with extremes of temperature. It's not surprising then that an Australian company, moulded by the rigours of the harsh Australian environment, should develop a range of animal health products capable of improving production under adverse rearing conditions. Rural Chemical Industries Australia Proprietary Limited, or RCI as it's usually known, a division of the Ruth group of companies, is an Australian-owned company which has been researching, manufacturing and marketing veterinary and livestock products for more than 40 years. These products, sold under the distinctive RCI logo, now help to improve the livestock industries in Australia and more than 30 countries to which RCI sells its products. Heat stress in poultry. How to recognise heat stress and what to do about it. Rural Chemical Industries Australia Proprietary Limited, Australia. We all dream of birds that give us lots of meat and eggs all the year round. Stress and disease can destroy that dream. Heat stress can take away more profit than most infectious diseases and is a condition always present when environmental temperatures are 25 degrees Celsius or more. Although birds are not sick from any disease, their production of meat and eggs is reduced, sometimes very severely, and this results in economic loss to the farmer. Why is this so, when chickens were first domesticated in China over 4,000 years ago? Over the past 50 years, many new hybrid strains of poultry have been bred, always to give more meat more quickly, or to improve egg production. However, these hybrids have originated from Europe and America, and are more suitable for cooler, temperate climates. They perform best at a temperature of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, often called their zone of comfort, and therefore do not perform as well and are not bred for tropical or hot areas of the world. These birds do not like heat and humidity, and poultry farmers living in these areas must take special care to reduce the effects of heat stress. A bird is really a chemical factory which converts food into energy. It does this in billions of cells in its body, using enzymes to control the chemical reactions necessary for growth and egg production. In a normal bird grown in its zone of comfort, heat production and heat loss are finely balanced, and the body temperature is maintained within close limits. When the environmental temperature rises, the bird itself tends to get hotter and must lose more heat to maintain a constant body temperature. Most of this heat is lost through evaporation of water from the lungs and air sacs. Only a little is lost by convection from the body. The feathers prevent much loss of heat from the skin. Expired air is fully saturated with moisture, and when the humidity of the air around the bird rises above 70%, very little evaporation can take place from the lungs and air sacs. This means that the bird's main cooling system is in danger and about to break down. Experienced farmers know that a prepared strategy must be put into operation at this stage, using anagain and selectrolyte in the drinking water. The bird tries to compensate by breathing more quickly. As the humidity and temperature rise, the bird starts to pant, and the respiration rate rises rapidly from 20 to 240 breaths per minute. The volume of the breath increases from 3 cubic metres to 7 cubic metres per day. Because muscle activity is increased as the bird pants, the body burns up more energy and more heat is produced, so the problem gets worse. In conditions of high humidity, the birds can remain comfortable in temperatures of 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. Between 20 and 25 degrees, symptoms of mild heat stress will begin to show. Above 25 degrees, production will drop severely, and urgent help must be provided. Beyond this temperature, there is a significant loss of the key electrolytes. This loss is not visible to the farmer until the health of his birds deteriorate and infectious diseases appear. When the temperature rises above 30 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity is more than 50%, the bird cannot lose heat fast enough, and the deep body temperature starts to rise. Signs of heat stress now become more obvious. Older birds, such as layers, may sometimes adapt to this increased body temperature if the rise is gradual, but they cannot cope with sudden temperature rises. High humidity levels reduce their ability to adapt. Broiler chickens do not adapt. Heavier birds are affected first, particularly broilers 6 to 8 weeks old. Under the effects of heat stress, respiration changes from closed mouth to open mouth panting. The birds slow down. Feathers are erect and the wings are outstretched to expose maximum skin surface to the air. The birds stop eating and drink more water. Hens lay fewer eggs, and the eggs have thinner shells. When the birds reach this stage, the body temperature has already risen by at least 1 degree above the normal of 41 degrees. Anagain, added to the drinking water, will help by stimulating the respiration and appetite. As the body temperature rises further, the bird becomes very distressed and starts to stagger. Panting becomes very fast, and water consumption increases by 3 to 4 times, sometimes even more. The output of urine increases by more than 100%, thus increasing the electrolyte loss. A 1 degree rise in body temperature means a 20 to 30% increase in metabolism. Since the bird is not eating, it starts to burn up body stores of fat, carbohydrates and protein, and the bird loses weight. Extra waste products are produced, which must be removed from the body. So the bird drinks more water to wash these waste products away, and this results in sloppy droppings. As excessive water is lost in the droppings, the bird loses electrolytes as well. Even a small loss of electrolytes has a bad effect on body chemistry. Research has shown the key electrolytes are vitally important to the body's function in heat stress, and their loss influences productivity and survival. The normal chemical balance of the body is lost, and this speeds up the loss of water and electrolytes in the droppings. So much water is lost from the body that dehydration develops. Unless the key electrolytes are replaced, the more water the bird drinks, the more the body chemistry is changed, and the worse the situation becomes. The body chemistry changes so much that the heart and lungs collapse and the bird dies. What can be done to prevent these losses? Appetite loss is one of the first symptoms of heat stress because the bird cannot eat and pant at the same time. As feed intake is lower than normal, the protective drugs, vitamins and amino acids used in the feed are delivered in lower than normal doses, and as a result offer less and less protection against other diseases. Large quantities of electrolytes are also being lost through increased urine output. To correct this situation, appetite and the key electrolytes must be restored to the bird. When Anagain and Selectrolyte are added to the drinking water, the effects of heat stress are reduced. Selectrolyte and Anagain minimize dangerous changes to the body chemistry and assist in the loss of heat, and thus improve production and survival. Selectrolyte and Anagain are practical solutions to heat stress because they stimulate the bird to eat more and help restore dietary electrolyte balance, DEB. Air conditioning is another solution, but too expensive. Fans are helpful in some circumstances. Fanning at an airspeed of 100 feet per minute is enough to remove the air exhaled by the birds. It's important, however, to have the moving air just above the bird, so fan height must be adjustable to take into account the growth of the bird. When the environmental temperature reaches 25 degrees and the humidity is greater than 40%, farmers must also take into account the body temperature of the bird which adds to the problem created by atmospheric heat and humidity. A shed full of broilers produces a tremendous amount of heat. And since the bird's breath is 41 degrees and fully saturated, the air around the birds, known as the microclimate, soon becomes hot and saturated as well. Unless the microclimate of the bird is altered by fanning, the situation gets even worse. It is important to plan ahead. Understanding the effects of temperature and humidity on birds will enable remedial action to be taken and profits to be increased. It must be recognised that for all the visible signs of heat stress, such as loss of appetite, open-mouth breathing or panting, spreading wings and squatting, increased water consumption and sloppy droppings, thin, cracked or no shell eggs, fewer and smaller eggs, there are invisible signs as well. These unobservable symptoms, like weight loss, increase in body temperature, increase in electrolyte loss, dehydration, and change in body chemistry, have the most drastic effect on production costs and profits. Because the bird is not eating, the only practical way to approach the problem is through the drinking water. Best results in broilers are achieved by continuous medication of the drinking water. That means 24 hours a day for the whole production cycle. The advantage of continuous treatment is that it allows very low doses to be used. Only 3 litres of Anagain per 1,000 birds to 45 days is an example. Layers and breeders need to be treated differently and do not require continuous medication. For the most effective ways of using Anagain and Selectolite, and to obtain practical hints to reduce the effects of heat stress on your farm, RCI has produced 4 booklets, all available from your dealer, which give you the latest information and university-proven ways to overcome the serious problem of heat stress. They are: how to understand electrolytes and what to do about them, how to understand broiler profitability and what to do about it, how to understand heat stress in poultry and what to do about it, how to understand relative humidity and temperature regulation in poultry and what to do about them. Make sure you get your copies today and start earning extra profits with Anagain and Selectolite. Successful management of heat stress is the key factor in profitable poultry production in tropical and hot environments. RCI has pioneered research in this important field and has acquired much skill and experience in overcoming the problems discussed in this presentation. The distinctive RCI logo is applied to a range of products proven to assist in the management of heat stress. These products are part of the 130 veterinary and livestock products currently in the RCI range. RCI, your first choice when it comes to good animal management.